Okay, let's go. So, people, welcome to Steven Charles Quance's Happiness, Health, Wealth. And I've got that the wrong way round. Oh, my God. And my boss has got a massive mallet behind the cameras and he looks like he's going to hit me over the head. So, welcome to my show, Health, Happiness and Wealth. And the reason it's that order, my good friend Sheila,
yes,
is because without health, we've got nothing. Happiness, we have a little more. And the icing on the cake would be a little bit of wealth. But without
Absolutely.
the former, we have nothing. Mm-hmm. Sheila McMahon, I'm so... How long has it taken me to get you onto this show?
To be honest, I thought you were becoming a
I'll tell you,
stalker.
2 months.
2 months. Folks, he stalked me. It was kind of getting a bit embarrassing.
No, I thought you was ignoring me. And after we did our wonderful podcast, it's fabulous to turn the tables on you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We did a great podcast, didn't we? And the reason we did that podcast is because I was suffering in the head regions, and you are a very professional mental health therapist.
You've forgotten it.
Therapist, I was
yes.
looking for the right word. But let me tell you what I love about you, first of all.
Okay, go on.
Right, let me
go
big
on.
you up.
Okay.
Right, so don't disappoint the listening and the viewing public after this. Sheila, you're also a comedian.
Yes.
Stand up.
Yes.
And what I love about that is there's two major contrasts there, isn't there? Sheila, you've got to be, and you was, very, very helpful to me. Mental health therapist, you know, you spoke very candidly but very professionally. And then with your other hat on, you're making people laugh, smile. And let's face it, humour, comedy, laughing, wow, that is such a remedy to cancel out the other, is it not?
It is. And the thing is that often humour is tragedy over time. So what I mean by that is at a time you mightn't have been laughing, but kind of as time moves on, we laugh about stuff. So it's tragedy over time. And when I do my mental health shows, you know, I combine the two, mental health comedy. It's a natural combination.
And that's not the end to your talents either, is it?
Well,
you are now an author, aren't you?
I was going to say...
It would be remiss of me, I'm sorry to
Yes.
butt in, but I've got to get this in for you. People, it's out there. Don't miss out on this wonderful book. I can't read, so I haven't read it, and I won't lie to you. But she's give it me. It's on Audible. Yeah, Sheila, we're behind closed doors. Fabulous.
Thank you very much, Steve.
All the very best with that. And your launch is when?
It's actually on Saturday, this Saturday. So depending on when this goes out, it's Saturday, the 4th of April. The 5th of April? I don't know. I'm losing my head. It's this Saturday anyway, which I think is the 4th of April. Yes, thank you, Ruth, for that.
Well, my boss wouldn't be adverse to a couple of little bribes from us when we leave.
Oh,
so
that's
we never
interesting.
know. We'll keep our fingers crossed on that.
Okay.
What got you into mental health?
Basically, my mental health went to pot. So when I was in my 20s...
You suffered.
I did. So I started having panic attacks. And unless you have been through panic attacks, you cannot know what that is like. Can I share a rude joke about panic attacks?
Yeah.
Okay. So a friend,
I just said yes. And
I
can feel the eyes of my boss burning into the back of my neck.
Jiggy, right? Okay, so fair play to you, whatever you're into. And she said to me, Sheila, how do you explain a panic attack? And I said to her, because this was the only way she was going to understand this, I said, a panic attack is like an orgasm. You'll know when you've had one.
Well, I've been married nearly 20 years and I can't remember. No one said that was in the, one of the bits that you stand up and say at the front of the church, what the vows. No. Anyway, so that leads us nicely on to what advice then? Stop laughing at me, Sheila.
Sorry,
I know
Steve.
I've got a funny
Steve,
head.
Let me go back to the serious stuff. Okay, so I got into mental health because in my 20s, there I was, the life and soul of the party, and one morning I could not get out of bed. I was not able to function, and I didn't know what the feck, and feck I know is not a swear word, I didn't know what the feck was going on. And it's the scariest thing ever, and for me, I had to go into counselling because I was not functioning. And what I learned during that experience, I think I was in therapy for about 6 months, and I was on antidepressants as well to try and get back to functioning. But what I learned, it changed my world. And then my comedy evolved into mental health comedy. I was just so impressed by my own counsellor that I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if I could do that for somebody else? And as well as that, I have to be honest, one of the main reasons why I became a counsellor was because the depression was still not going away. And I thought, if I can learn about this, there's a good chance I might be able to manage it. And it was a good move. So yeah.
I have got a question in the back of my mind that's coming in a very minute, but we are so much alike. I'm sat behind this mic.
I don't have a beard.
I'm sat behind... No, I know you don't have a beard. But your moustache is nice.
Not on a Tuesday.
Come on, please.
Okay, sorry, Steve.
You said you were going to be sensible.
I don't get out much.
So... I'm sat behind this mic. Thank you to my kind friends on my left, Scott and Ruth.
Okay.
But I'm purely sat behind this mic through selfish reasons. Because I, as you know, have been in the same place as you. Yes. I'm not someone that stays in bed. And yes, I didn't want to get out of bed. And what the feck is going on?
Yeah.
When you are such an outgoing person, when you are such a social person, and all of a sudden your world is flipped on its head through whatever reasons. Now I've got the chance because we're like alcoholics, aren't we? Like drug use, whatever. We're never not an alcoholic. We're never not out of depression. It's just how you manage it.
Manage it, yeah.
And where you put yourself. And this opportunity gives me such a natural high that I could not slip back into that.
Yeah.
You know, not while I'm doing things like this. A little bit out of my comfort zone, which is a great remedy as well, doing things out of your comfort zone. But it makes me feel such joy, alive, you know.
Yeah.
It's great.
Do you think, Steve, when you started to move your bed into the studio, that Scott and Ruth were thinking, Steve, we know you get a lot from this, but come on, it's a Sunday.
Just be thankful I haven't asked you to get into my bed and do this interview.
He did, folks. It's not too late to let you know that. Okay.
So what? This is the question. What triggered? Do you know what triggered that initial?
Lots of different things. Growing up in the west of Ireland is a beautiful place, but it's very oppressed. And that's the reality of it. And there's a lot of cultural pressures, expectations. And you know what? Like sometimes it's not that the person is sick. Sometimes the environment is sick. And what I mean by that is sometimes there's these expectations, these judgments, these criticisms. And sometimes people just can't be. And oftentimes, I had it myself, I see it with clients now, they have an inner conflict going on because the outside world is trying to make them into something that they don't want to be, and it's trying to fit into society. And myself growing up in the west of Ireland, I was just expected to get married, have kids, be a housewife. That's your lot in life. And that was never me. It was never me. And and it was really when I left Ireland, I was still having panic attacks, but I knew I had to go. And as much as I love Ireland, I'm very proud to be Irish. But I absolutely had to get out of there because of the oppression.
Give me one bit of really telling good advice. If someone, and this is why we do this show, because we're hoping, well, we're not hoping, there might be someone out there that is in those positions you've just mentioned, in the position I mentioned about not wanting to get out of bed, totally alien to them.
Yeah.
Give me one good bit of advice for anyone that's out there now listening in that position.
A lot of people, when they're struggling, they think it must be me. And I would say to you, what if it's not you?
Okay.
and with that, to go and speak to somebody, whether it's your doctor, whether it's a friend, but somebody who can actually listen and listen without judgments or expectations. Just find place. It's like, for example, I run a free support group on the last Wednesday of every month in Lichfield. I've done that for the last 11
Where is
years. That's at the Tesco's community room. Upstairs in the mega store, whatever you call it.
How can people find out more about that?
Just get in contact with me, track me
Where
down.
do we find you?
Crime Watch.
Ah, wonderful.
Sorry, obviously not.
I've wondered why you've grown your hair and got glasses. And speaking with that silly Irish accent.
Don't say anything about my beard.
You was a Brummie last time I spoke
Hold
to you.
on, my tag is going off. Stop. So yeah, they can find me on socials and all of that on Facebook.
Sheila McMahon.
I was Sheila McMahon.
Sheila
No surprise
McMahon.
there.
Yeah.
And and you see, that's the thing. There is a lot of help out there. It's just people, they don't realise, but there is a lot of help
Are
out
they
there.
to be nervous about coming to a room like that? There's lots of people in there that they're going to,
Do you know what? It's wonderful, Steve. I tell people, if you're too happy, get out. I do. I don't. If they're positive, don't even come near me. I don't want to know. And I love it because there's usually only about 4 or 5 of us, and we have like this spoon. So when you have the spoon, you can talk, and you just go blah, and you just have a rant, and you give out about whatever you need to give out about, and we've got a cushion that you can just punch the shite out of, and it's just wonderful. No expectations, no judgments. I use it for myself as well, and not the people, the cushion, and it's great. It really is, So honestly, like you go back to that advice, but the thing is that when you're in it, it's awful, and you think it's never going to end to depression or panic attacks, but it can. It can. Hang in there and get some help. Find somebody, a suitable counsellor, or somebody you can really talk to, and somebody who has a lot of empathy and understanding.
So quite a telling little bit of advice there. Someone that maybe is a little bit removed from you.
Yes.
Your immediate family, your best friend might be that little bit close.
Yeah, that's true, Steve, because they can't help but give you advice. And, of course, we love being told what to do. No, we don't. We just want people to listen to it. You said it yourself in our podcast together, that sometimes we just need somebody to listen to us. Yeah. A problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Love that.
So there we go.
And by doing the comedy aspect of it, of which obviously everyone is experiencing that, even though you're on here to help us with our mental health, you're making us laugh as well. I mean, for you, that must be such a release. I mean, how did you see now? Anxiety for me creates nerves.
Okay.
I can remember. I described it to my therapist as waking up as if it was my driving test every day. That's the way it felt. Because when it was my driving test, I'd wake up and my stomach was churning. I was worried about failure. I was worried about the day ahead when that test was going to happen, etc. And that's the way it made me feel when I didn't want to get out of bed. Then you're getting on stage. I mean, what was your first experience like? I mean,
it was incredible, Steve.
Was it?
It was one of the best moments of my life. I mean...
Where was that? Tell us where that was.
It was the Comedy Lounge in the Republic in Ireland in Dublin. It was one of the biggest comedy venues at that time. And I did a 5-minute sketch as Auntie Betty. Auntie Betty would look like Mrs. Brown's mother. So that sort of a look. And I started off as Auntie Betty because I didn't have the courage to do it as myself. And of course I was breaking it and all of that, everything that comes with it. But I tell you something, when that gig finished, I have never felt anything like it because I honestly didn't think I could do it. But I made myself do it because I love comedy. I've always loved comedy. I think life is too serious to be taken seriously. And when I did that first gig, the fact that I did it, it was euphoric was the feeling, euphoric. And the thing is, Steve, is like people say, oh, you're so brave. Not at all. I love stand-up comedy. The audience are brave to come to my gig, to be fair. Like, it's very funny. People say to my husband, "Oh, are you security for Sheila?" And he goes, "No, I'm here to protect the audience from Sheila." Like, I love people heckling me. I mean, obviously, it's different with my mental health shows, which I do at the Garrick every year. That's very different because that's kind of me performing, and it's not, it's only interactive when I get people up Irish dancing, but that's another thing. And but the comedy gigs I tend to do in a pub, in my mate's pub in Hansacre. I love it when people heckle me. Like, they're so sorry they do that. It's hilarious.
So you must be fairly sharp to because I see all good comedians that get heckled. They come back and it's touche and some, stab me through the heart that you are dead.
Yeah.
So that. Are you clever?
And like, the thing
Are
is,
you a clever person?
You'll have general lines anyway come back. I think most audiences, they don't care as long as you take them on. Do you know what I mean? So, like, and the fact I'm a counsellor, I would say I'm more of a psychotherapist because I do more the deep-rooted stuff. And, like, I mean, if somebody's been nasty to you, of course you could be like, "Oh, did you not get much attention as a child?" Look, I told you in our sessions that we were going to keep that to our sessions. Like, there's so much you can say. But to be fair, I tend to take the pee out of myself. So when people heckle me, it tends to be all part of the fun, laughing with rather than laughing at.
My favourite comedian, Billy Connolly.
Oh, he's fabulous.
And he rips himself, doesn't he, on
Yes.
stage? But what he does brilliantly, he gives us all scenarios that some of us have been through.
Yeah.
I've said that on another podcast before this, and it is Billy Connolly every time.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Remind me there, the Garrick, what's that all about then?
So I've been performing a mental health show at the Garrick for the last, I'll be coming up to 11 years this year. I write a brand new show every year. My next show is going to be about identity, and that's on Saturday the 10th of October. I've already signed the contracts, and I mix up the comedy with mental health, but I really talk about some serious stuff about how do we know who we are. Like, we're all a product of our environment, and depending on where we grew up, that's how we're influenced. And if we've been given good stuff, woo, happy days. But if we've been given shite stuff, well, then we can kind of be trying to please our parents, please other people, never feeling good enough and never knowing why. And I love to rip up the carpet and talk about all this kind of stuff so people get to really decide who they want to be rather than somebody else telling them who they should be.
Your first show,
Yes.
did you practice?
Yes. So that would have been in 2015. I was so nervous because I literally came out at that time. And when I say I came out, I can see the disappointment in your face, Steve.
What?
No, I'm not gay. But I decided to come out by announcing that as a mental health professional, I had been suffering with depression for decades. And I decided to talk openly about that. And of course, that was a massive risk because you risk people go, "Well, why would I go to her? She doesn't have herself sorted." But the opposite happened. That because I was using strength in vulnerability and I was talking about depression and I was just being open and honest, and people going, "Oh my God, I think exactly the same way." It was just like, wow. And that was 11 years ago. So, and
I would think completely opposite. I would think because you've been there, this is why I want people to engage with me, because I've been there. I want to help them.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than speaking to someone that has actually been through. My mother, she's 30 years post breast cancer. She still speaks to people now that have initially been diagnosed with it. And the reason that she loves speaking to them and the reason I encourage that is because the person that has just been diagnosed with breast cancer is obviously thinking the world's going to end.
Yes.
Right? There's my mum, 30 years on. And anything as serious as that, if you can grasp any positivity, any hope, I know you don't like positivity, but any...
Stop it.
No.
No, I am joking. Of course I love positivity.
If you can grasp anything to do, with bad health, I think positivity is a natural winner, is it not?
It is. You just have to be careful with that because parallel to that is it's okay not to be okay. So it's really important we don't confuse the two because people have to go through their own process to be allowed to not be okay. So it's allowing that. And then, yes, most times people are up and down with different experiences in their life. So it's not about one or the other. That's when it becomes toxic. When you're thinking, stop being depressed. Tell me 10 things to be grateful about. And you want to tell them to feck off.
So, and we are very much alike. I know, apart from the beards, boxing for me was my euphoric.
Yeah.
I did boxing, and I was scared out of my wits. I would go and spar before the fights, and you had to spar because it was only white collar boxing, and we weren't, boxers in for money. We were raising money for good causes.
Yeah.
And I would drive there, and I'd have to stop halfway and be sick on the side of the road because I was so nervous.
Okay.
But when I got through both of those fights, and not losing on my ad, wow.
Yeah.
I walked about on air for 3-4 months after. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's kind of proving to yourself that you can do it, your capabilities.
I fancy being a comedian,
Give it a go, Steve.
Maybe I might ask you for a bit of help there.
Oh, why not? It'll only cost you £465 an hour. No, sorry, a minute. I've just upped my charges.
We've talked about you being an author.
Yes.
We talked about you being a comedian. Mm-hmm. You are a mental health therapist. I mean, where does these talents end?
It's funny.
And they don't.
It's funny, Steve, when you said, and she's not only talented that, I really want to say, yes, I shear sheep. just to completely put you off.
No, you're not putting me off because poetry.
Yes.
Tell us more.
So I've been writing poems all my life. And it's interesting, actually, because I wrote poems during episodes of depression. And that's the equivalent now of journaling. So do you mind if I share just a piece of one of my poems with you?
Is this the favourite poem that you've ever written, or is this just...
No.
Go on, then.
This is just kind of random stuff.
Okay, that's good. I like random.
So, yeah, like the thing is that when you're in that dark place, everything feels personal. That, and of course you do. You just feel like that it's you and that it's, like even this part here from poem Hopeless. Well, that's how I feel right now. So low I can hardly explain. When every day I get a lecture, which only adds to my pain. Like, the thing is that sometimes it's really important to write down how you feel and without editing that. Just allowing yourself to write down how you feel. There's a poem, Isolation, I'm looking for, but I can't find it. Do you want to hear a funny one? About braces.
Braces, as in teeth?
Yes.
Or trousers?
As in teeth. Okay, as in train tracks. Okay. So there's a picture here of me with braces, okay, and it says 4 long years of wearing braces. And gosh, did we go many places. Like the time when I got hooked on Sid. He had braces too, so we actually did.
Oh, I used to wear braces.
Did you? Okay.
My trousers were too big.
You see, you've started already.
Yeah, there you go.
With your comic stuff.
I'm glad you laughed because no one else did. There you go. Slightly late.
Well, better late than never. So yeah, so
you're looking through there. Come on then. What's your favourite poem in there?
My favourite poem. Okay, it's interesting. I would say probably the last 2 poems. So I wrote a poem on the morning of my dad's funeral. And for those of you who have been through therapy will understand that for me to write these lines, I would have had to go through loads of therapy to get to the place where I have now, and which I'm really proud of. But just to read you some lines from this poem.
No, read it all.
Do you want me to read it all? Okay.
I've just told you to read it all. It's my show. Do as you're told.
Okay. Shut up. All right. Okay. I like it. Anyway. Okay, so this one is actually called Behind Closed Doors. I am a man of many faces. You may see me in different places. Some may see me with a welcoming smile, making you feel good and your day worthwhile. Some may see me as a man full of rage, like an untamed animal locked in a cage. Some may experience me as Jekyll and Hyde, never quite knowing which one will arrive. But behind closed doors, I am a man full of fear, who was not taught how to show his emotions throughout his years, who had to have a stiff upper lip when things got tough, while holding an underlying feeling of not being good enough. I am the product of roles and expectations, who finds it hard to change with every new generation. Wondering in life, did I pass the test? Please, don't judge me. I did my best. Well, thank you very much. That's very reassuring.
I knew chasing you for 3 months was worth it. So, what I noticed about that as well, not only was it the words were brilliant, obviously very, very difficult to put down at the time you did, the morning of your father's funeral, but the way you delivered that, that was the icing on the cake for me.
Oh, thank you.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And heartfelt.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is that I had a very difficult relationship with my father, but I went through a lot of therapy myself to understand where he was coming from. And a lot of times in family relationships, sometimes we just need to take a step back and actually see where that person is coming from. Because most of the time, I say most, not all of the time, most of the time people come from good intentions. So sometimes if we can kind of look at things with different perspectives, sometimes family relationships, people have to walk away. And I endorse that too. Sometimes they do have to do that for their own sanity. And I would have done the same. You know, when I came out with my first book, I came out with my first book about 11 years ago, and my family were telling me to burn the book. They were the words of my father, and all this sort of stuff, because of the Irish conditioning. You don't air your dirty laundry in public. We shove everything under the carpet. But it's that sort of stuff that kills people. So that's why it's important I do the work that I do. And so it's finding that common ground. You do what you've got to do, but I've got to do what I've got to do.
Do you find that a release for yourself as well?
I find
selfishly for you.
I find it's good that I've got to that place that I can accept where it's coming from. It doesn't make it any easier sometimes, because I still have that ingrained conditioning from a young child growing up in Ireland. Honour your father and mother. You know, you're not allowed to speak bad about them. But the thing is, it's not directed at them. We're talking about behaviour. And sometimes we have to call behaviour out. Sometimes it makes people very sick.
So, we've got a few minutes left.
Okay.
I'm not blowing smoke up your derriere, but that was excellent. I want to hear your second favourite poem.
Okay.
Can you read that to us?
Yeah, sure, why not? So this is the last one then in my book, and it's called Doing Our Best. I am a girl who loves her dad and loves skipping with him up the farm. He gives me so much attention. I feel safe when I'm in his arms. I am a teen who's confused by her dad. He's mad at me all the time. He's always giving out, calling me, a bitch. He acts like Jekyll and Hyde. I am a young woman struggling with life who never feels good enough. I go into therapy, tell of a great dad I had, and realise he was also messed up. I am a woman who's worked through lots of pain to understand a life that sometimes feels like a test, who now helps others to do the same and realise we are all just doing our best.
Sheila, I can't thank you enough for this.
Aww.
I haven't mentioned it, but my family will tell you every birthday card, every Christmas card I write, and this has been about 7-8 years now, I made a rod for my own back. I was very good at poems and used to write them all a poem in the card, and now I have to write them a poem every time I give a card.
Lovely.
But that is some talent you have there.
Cheers,
and
Steve.
I'm really, really, really grateful. Firstly, for my gift. Look at that. Early Christmas present. And secondly, for you coming on and spending the time. All the very best with your launch on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll remind people that you run
that support group,
support
last
group.
Wednesday of every month.
Please,
yeah.
if talking about it is absolutely key, and no better person to listen, Sheila McMahon. Thank you very, very much.
And thank you to your listeners as well. And fair play to this radio station. Fantastic stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Lichfield Radio. Thank you for listening to Lichfield Radio. Thank you for listening to Lichfield Radio.